Hey guys, this is Jeremy in the DAW. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our part 2 of our NoiseAsh Palomary Collection video series. So this one is going to be on the NoiseAsh SpeakeSim, and this is honestly one of my favorite plugins that they have made so far. And this is essentially a speaker simulation plugin, as its name implies, but it has a lot more really cool features besides just emulating different types of speakers. If we take this out of bypass really quickly, you're going to notice that we have a ton of speaker simulations that already come with it. Some of them are actually even emulating a certain thing like an old turntable inside of a room, or something like a walkie-talkie and then a walkie-talkie in a room. And I think this is a really cool thing because it gives you an extra flavor and it gives you a nice realistic sound of a speaker in a room. But what really makes this stand out against other telephone effects is we have the ability to control other parameters, such as the lo-fi controls, which will add lo-fi and distortion, the limiter, which will actually drive it into a limiter. You also have a button that switches it between mono and stereo, and this is active at all times, so you don't have to worry about the limiter or the lo-fi being on to utilize this section. You also have an EQ section right here, and this comes with a high and low pass filter, a high and low shelf, and a mid bell. This is a really great way of naturally kind of shaping the tone that's already been filtered down. And as a side note, I am controlling this right now with my PreSonus FaderPort 8. So this is completely programmable. You can use DAW controllers, and right now I'm just having a lot of fun because this is the first time I've had a DAW controller in a long time, so I'm just turning a bunch of knobs. This is a really cool way of adding some spice to songs, and I actually find that some of these emulations are pretty good. So what I want to do is just switch between a couple of presets to show you the general idea of what it sounds like, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how this sounds in a mix. So I'm going to bypass it first, and we're going to play the intro of the song. This is Moon. This is a song written and recorded by my brother. I mixed this, and I think you've heard this a couple of times already. Let's just take a look at it without the SpeakeSim. So it sounds pretty cool. It has kind of like a vintage kind of vibe. I have remixed this to have a little bit more dynamics. What we're going to do is just turn on SpeakeSim and take a listen to some of the presets. One thing to note is you will notice that some of these presets are actually really quiet. This downstairs neighbor is really quiet, so we're going to bump up the gain a little bit. Another really cool thing is once you found a preset that has decent settings that you kind of like, you can actually just click between the different simulations to kind of get the general preset settings right here and then utilize the different types of speaker simulations. So let's do that right now.
Coke out of glass bottles with your universal charm. I called you my moon. We used to kiss in the dark. When it rained, we'd exit your car with the moon so far.
And then obviously we can go ahead and utilize the EQ to kind of fine tune this. So let's do that right now.
I feel closer to you. I used to call you my moon. Now when I look up, all I see is you.
Bypass it.
Used to call you my moon.
Pretty cool, right? So another really cool thing that I like about this is since it is so flexible, you can easily make your own user presets with your own settings. In this case, I have utilized one using the old turntable. I have it in mono. I'm not using any type of lo-fi or the limiter. I'm just utilizing the EQ, and I'm having a output gain compensation right here. So if we take this out of bypass really quickly and find a good section to present this, I think somewhere right around here would be good. So right when we hit this part of the vocal, I'm going to activate SpeakeSim and get a really cool lo-fi effect. And then once we hit maybe around here, we're going to put it into bypass and have the song back to normal. This is going to be a really cool thing to automate, and it's a great way of adding some flavor to a song. So let's just start off right here and let's check it out.
You We used to walk beneath the stars, drink Coke out of glass bottles and toast to Mars. With your universal charm, I called you my moon. I used to call you my moon.
Pretty cool, right? You can totally use that, and then you can automate that and even fine-tune the automation. Another really cool thing is the dry-wet controls, because it's going to allow you to actually blend between the dry and the wet signal. So you can automate that if you want a smoother transition. For me, I don't actually mind just having the bypass. I find that that works just fine. So it's not really a deal breaker for me. But another cool thing is, let's say you want to do a soft bypass with your DAW. If it does include that, you can obviously just do this and maybe trigger it with your MIDI controller or DAW controller, and then you can utilize the soft bypass. Pretty cool, pretty simple, pretty easy to use. And honestly, this is one of my favorite plugins from NoiseAsh to date. Actually, when I think about it, this is probably my number 1 or number 2 plugin that NoiseAsh makes right now. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. This is Jeremy Taylor within the DAW, and I will see you guys next time.